Which team has the best chance to dethrone the Kansas City Chiefs? For over half a decade now, the Chiefs have tortured me and you alike. Probably me a little bit more than you unless you're a Raiders, Broncos, or Chargers fan. They go to AFC Championship game after AFC Championship game. Super Bowl after Super Bowl. Not allowing any of our other favorite players and teams to make it. Which is why we as NFL fans need a hero. And I'm going to reveal who that hero is along with every team's chances to dethrone the Kansas City Chiefs this year. Here are the tiers that I'm going to be going over. The teams that have next to zero chance. There's never a 0% chance that anything could happen in football. And it'll be the teams with a Hail Mary of a chance, slightly better than zero. Then I'll go over the teams who are very unlikely to dethrone the Kansas City Chiefs, but they do have a fair shot and opportunity to. Then I'll talk about some teams where if everything goes perfect, then they can dethrone the Kansas City dynasty. Talk about some of the teams with the most likely chance to dethrone the Chiefs of anyone in the league. And then finally, at the end of the video, I will reveal the team we are counting on to make this finally happen. One more thing to keep in mind is that AFC teams obviously will have an advantage because they get more shots at the Chiefs. The AFC's team's path to dethroning Kansas City is through the AFC playoffs. So all you really have to do to have a shot is make the playoffs. And the NFC to have a chance to be the team to dethrone the Chiefs, you have to make it all the way to the Super Bowl. Non-Super Bowl contenders should have next to zero chance at dethroning Kansas City, which is our first tier. Teams with next to zero chance at dethroning the Chiefs next year are teams like the New York Giants. They're giving Daniel Jones one last chance. I don't know who on this offense is going to produce at the level that Saquon Barkley did. I definitely don't trust a rookie Malik Neighbors to fill into that spot. You got an offensive genius at head coach, and this might be one of the worst offenses in the league. And their division rivals, the Washington Commanders. I'm a little bit higher on the Commanders than I am the Giants. Just the fact that the Commanders have a rookie at quarterback already diminishes their chances a ton at making the Super Bowl. No rookie has ever made it out of the NFC, let alone taking down the Chiefs when they get there. I'm rooting for the Arizona Cardinals. Big Marvin Harrison Jr. fan, big Kyler Murray fan. But I think that this team is a few years away from having any chance at going to the Super Bowl. I think this team might still be a year away from being a playoff team. The Seattle Seahawks didn't improve a ton. They are making a change at head coach and maybe philosophy, so it could be slightly different, but the team is fielding a very similar roster to last year. And I definitely don't look at Seattle as Super Bowl contenders by any means. The New Orleans Saints were a team that I was kind of high on last offseason. That might have just been all the hope of Derek Carr embarrassing the Raiders when he went to the Saints. Last year made it pretty clear that all you have to do to defeat New Orleans is pressure the quarterback. It's been a problem for all of Derek Carr's career. They're going to come after him again this year. Then some AFC teams that I think have no chance are the New England Patriots and the Chiefs' division rivals, the Denver Broncos. Now, there are some teams out there with a Hail Mary of a chance of dethroning Kansas City, where if a few players break out and a few of the moves that these teams made come through, maybe there's a chance they could dethrone the champs. I'll go over those teams and the rest of the team's chances. But first, just one quick reminder, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel before you forget. If you haven't met me before, hi, I'm NFL Mike, nice to meet you. I'm an NFL content creator that makes NFL content 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and twice on Sundays. So if you're an NFL fan, I know you'll like the channel. Subscribe for daily NFL content. And liking the video is the free way to support all of my videos. All right, let's continue here. Teams with a Hail Mary chance at dethroning the current champions are teams like the Pittsburgh Steelers, who in order to have a chance at this, they need Russell Wilson to return to form. We need MVP candidate Russell Wilson. We need prime Seattle Seahawks Super Bowl champ Russell Wilson. And then the Steelers have a chance to dethrone the Chiefs. Another team that I have in the Hail Mary category are the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think that Trevor Lawrence can take the leap this year. You get him a true X like Brian Thomas out wide. Christian Kirk can strictly play the slot. They still have Evan Ingram in this offense, and they picked up Gabe Davis, who added some especially down the field firepower. Problem is that Trevor Lawrence hasn't taken that leap into Patrick Mahomes' stratosphere yet. And the Jaguars defense is still definitely a huge question mark. Another team with a Hail Mary chance is the Tennessee Titans, and their only chance also revolves around their quarterback. Is Will Levis going to break out and be a franchise quarterback in this league? Or did the Titans simply load up this team just to see him fail? I think the Minnesota Vikings have a Hail Mary chance, but that rookie quarterback issue looms. And then I throw Chicago Bears in at this part of the list. Again, rookie quarterback. Very unlikely you're even going to make it to the Super Bowl. And the Chicago Bears have to still stay healthy for this offense to be as good as they want it to be. I think the Atlanta Falcons can contend if Kirk Cousins goes out and balls off the Achilles injury. I would believe a lot more in the Falcons if they use that pick on a defensive piece maybe to help the defense rather than a backup quarterback. There's still a bunch of questions on defense for them as well. I've got the Colts in this category, and this is a team that you shouldn't sleep on. Anthony Richardson plays like freaking Cam Newton. Can you imagine where this team can go this year and in future years? That's a tall task to ask for Anthony Richardson to stay healthy and perform at that high level for an entire season before we've ever seen it happen. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have a Hail Mary chance. It's going to take some of these young guys on the roster to really step up. Which brings me to my next category, which are the teams with a very unlikely chance to be the team to stop KC, but they'll have a fair chance to. Like my Los Angeles Chargers, who now have the roster, the quarterback, and the coach all put together. A defensive line that can definitely get after Mahomes. Mahomes has been quoted praising this defensive line in the past, but they can't stay healthy. And there's no reason to believe they're going to stay healthy until they do. Very unlikely, but the Chargers will have a fair chance. They play them twice, and then they would play them in the playoffs if they make it. If I'm going to bring up the Los Angeles Chargers in this category, I have to bring up the Las Vegas Raiders in this category as well. A lot lower on the Raiders just because the quarterback situation is not as steady as it is in LA. But you got to like a lot of the stuff that Antonio Pierce has been preaching to these Raiders. They are going after the Chiefs. They're another team that'll have a fair shot twice this year. Another team with a fierce defensive line to get after Mahomes. But we've seen what a little bit of attitude and edge can do for a locker room. Another team that I think will get a fair shot to dethrone the Chiefs this year is the New York Jets. That's a team that's going to have one of the best defenses in football. They have some of the best offensive weapons around Aaron Rodgers in football. And one of the best quarterbacks in NFL history. And they're definitely going to play the Chiefs this year if they make the playoffs. And another team with the firepower, the offensive and defensive scheme to do it are the Miami Dolphins. And while we're talking about the Dolphins and the Jets, I got to bring up the Buffalo Bills for this category as well. I've been saying it on the channel and on my videos for a couple weeks now that I think the Bills might be in trouble this year. We're really going to find out a lot about Josh Allen. Is he an elite quarterback in this league, or is he only a beast when his weapons are stacked the way they've been the last couple of years? I think he's actually an elite quarterback and he's going to be fine. But I do think that this young roster is going to have some struggles in these close games that they usually pull out. But if they are clutch, if they can get a rushing attack going and the defense returns to form, the Buffalo Bills will definitely have another shot at KC. The final team in this category may surprise you. I have the Cleveland Browns, man. This is going to be one of the best rosters in the league. They're definitely going to have one of the best defensive lines and defenses as a whole like they've had. It's just, can Deshaun Watson play like he did when he was a Houston Texan all those years ago? Can he produce and come through for the Browns on that trade they made? They traded their whole future for him and paid in all of this money for him. And he's playing like an average quarterback so far in the contract. But if we see this guy take that next leap, this team is as good as any in the league right now. There are 3 teams that I think can beat KC if everything goes perfect. Keep in mind, only if everything goes perfect. First team in this category, I think, has to be the Cincinnati Bengals. Definition of everything going perfect for them is just staying healthy. Jamar Chase plays all 17 games. Joe Burrow plays all 17 games. Whether they have T. Higgins or not, I think that this team is going to be a 12-win team. You've seen that Burrow has that fire. He has that drive that matches Patrick Mahomes. He has that competitiveness that makes him take pride in taking down Mahomes. As long as he has the roster and the defense to support him, everything goes perfect. I think Cincinnati can be the team. Another team where if everything goes perfect, they can take down Kansas City is the Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love really came into his own at the end of last season, and the rest of the youngsters on this offense are getting a boost in the rushing attack through adding Josh Jacobs. Keep that in mind with them holding on to Jair Alexander and keeping this defense together this offseason. Everything goes perfect for the Packers. They could be going on a Super Bowl run and meeting up with Mahomes. And then the final team in this category is them Dallas Cowboys. I think it's going one of 2 directions for the Cowboys. Either things start off hot for them and we get contract extensions for all the stars and everything ends up fine and dandy. They win 12 games, get into the playoffs, and if everything goes perfect, they can go on a Super Bowl run. Or it all goes the other direction. They struggle early on in the season. The wheels completely fall off of the Dallas Cowboys. And there's players beating the desk saying, I want the hell out of here by the end of the season. Moving on to the teams who I think had the most likely chance at dethroning Kansas City this year. Starting with the Detroit Lions, who as of right now I think is secretly my Super Bowl pick. Haven't made my official Super Bowl prediction yet. I'm leaning between the Lions and the Eagles for the NFC. Speaking of the Eagles, I have them in this category as well. The addition of Saquon Barkley is going to take this offense to the next level. So all of those 7, 8, 9, 10-yard runs that DeAndre Swift would finish forward, all of those big holes that he would get, and he would get a 15-yard burst. Yeah, a lot of those are turning into touchdowns with Saquon Barkley. That's what he brings to this offense, is that big playability out of the backfield that they haven't had. When you have that paired with the big playability of A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, Dallas Goedert in the passing game, and Jalen Hurts' ability to extend and make big plays as well, this offense is going to be one of the most unstoppable in the league, even without Jason Kelce. Comes down to the Eagles' defense. Can they get it together? They definitely invested in it. We'll see if it comes to fruition. The only other team in the NFC that fits into this category is the San Francisco 49ers. You can't ignore what the 49ers still have, even though they lost the Super Bowl last year. They've now lost twice to Kansas City. All more of the fuel to be working your ass off to try and finally beat these dudes. The team in this category out of the AFC that I wanted to select was the Baltimore Ravens, who lost to the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game last year. Very similar story to the 49ers. They just cannot get over Mahomes and Kelce. Lamar is 1-4 versus the Chiefs in his career. So hopefully all offseason he's been slimming down, getting buff, whatever he's been doing just to prepare to beat this team final. But there is a team that I think we are all counting on to take down Kansas City. A team that has not gotten a fair shot at him yet. They had the quarterback to keep up with Mahomes, the coaching to keep up with Andy Reid, the weapons for the downfield passing and the rushing attack, and one of the best up-and-coming defenses in the NFL right now. And I'll tell you what that team is, but first, do not forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. It takes 2 seconds and it's completely free to do, y'all, and turn notifications while you're there. The team that the entire NFL is depending on to take down the Kansas City Chiefs is the Houston Texans. But will anyone take down the Chiefs, or will they just walk their way into a three-peat? I guess sooner rather than later, the ball definitely won't lie. Please, Houston. Please.
Bill Flames, I went Mike on the mic. With something brand new, one time for your mind. He gave you fair warning. Now it's time to smack him in the mouth with that raw sports talk from the town. Sweet chin music to your favorite sportscaster.